This is Ritter for On the Ritter Entertain Blog, coming at you another edition of Movie Reviews and Observation number 172. Due to lots of travel, Jewish holidays, and a complete busyness, decided to get to finally 5 movies I've watched in the past couple weeks. First movie was called Our Lady. So they're like, let's have a movie where it takes place in the 90s. There's no social media, there's none of that stuff. And we'll talk about a Catholic school of girls who are all trying to like hook up and have sex and get boys and stuff. It's an all-girls school. And all of them have their own personal stories. Father Dick, battling leukemia, other issues, blah, 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 blah. Teen pregnancy. Oh, I want to feel it. I want to experience what it is to be gay because I'm just curious. Like, just throw all this stupid stuff in there, and it's an hour and 40 minutes, and I was just like, it was okay. It was not the worst movie I watched, but it wasn't the best movie. It was okay. Then I watched the movie Broken Diamonds with Ben Platt and Yvette Nicole Brown. And Ben Platt, I know from Pitch Perfect. I saw him in the movie of Dear Evan Hansen. He's a Broadway guy. He's a Jewish guy. Cool, I'm a fan of him. I kind of feel some similarities between this movie. He's like, if I don't go to France, Paris, to be a writer, I'm never going to go and be a writer. And I agree with that. Like, if I was in that position, if I just don't get out of my parents' house like I've been wanting to for years, I'm never going to get out. You know, there's a lot of things that I wish I could have done better in life, and it's similar. And yeah, so he gets thrown into the fire. His mother is in another state with his stepfather, and she's got her issue, so his mother's not really in the picture. His dad's dead. Yvette Nicole Brown is a nice woman in real life and in this movie, but she can't really do much to help. And he has to try to take care of his sister who's schizophrenic and have all this other issues, and it's all starting to ruin his life. But then he realizes, obviously, in the movie, he has to be patient with her and actually be there for her because she's been institutionalized and he's had nothing to do with her. So you're just like, okay, cool. It's a little depressing of a movie. It wasn't that long. I liked it. I didn't love it. Then I watched Hell Hath No Fury, thinking that it says on the box here it's an hour and 49 minutes and I needed something longer. Usually I'm always looking for something shorter. So in this movie, if you look at the back, some of those soldiers, like one of them I just saw recently on The Company You Keep, and I've seen him in other stuff. And like typical horror films, the black guy dies first. And it was very confusing to figure out this movie because you don't know if it's a French woman who just is a Nazi sympathizer and sleeps with a Nazi, or if she's really undercover, and then when she is undercover, they don't know it, and then the French government thinks that she's, sympathizer, and she's like about to be killed or whatever, and these soldiers go, well, you heard there's some gold, and they try to get these gold. But that gold is from Jews and other people that the Nazis tortured in order to get it, like fillings, and they're taking their jewelry and stuff. And then there's like a revenge factor of her ex-boyfriend, the German, also being alive when she thought he's dead and all this other stuff. And it's just like completely stupid that she survives all this stuff. And even with the bombing on, them dropping bombs on the ground, it's like, that's pretty stupid. Then I watched Naked Singularity for the sheer fact that, again, 90-something minutes, not that long. John Boyega's a good actor. So is Bill Skarsgård. Tim Blake Nelson's one of the better character actors of our generation. I've seen the girl before in the movie, and I've seen the dude who's like a gangster, and I've seen some of the other people. But the movie is trying to throw in this whole science fiction thing where the clock is having the wrong time and the temperature is wrong. And you're just like, cool. And Tim Blake Nelson is just coming up with all these conspiracy theories, and he's like his friend, or, they live in the same apartment. I don't know. It was just like, okay. So that's confusing. Then you have the whole, he's a young public defender, John Boyega, and you're like, okay, I can get behind him being a young public defender, not realizing you can't save everyone. The judge, who I've seen before from Be Positive, she's like, you want to get in trouble, sir? And he gets suspended, all this other stuff. And then supposedly, I don't know if Skarsgård is a defense attorney or a prosecutor or whatever, but they're somehow friends and stuff like that. And he goes, I'm going to drop this on your lap. This girl's Kate, who works, obviously, for the impound lot, whatever it is. It's confusing, the backstory of how they know each other and why it matters and why he cares so much to help her and then sleep with her. And then it turns into There's a drug bust going down. We got to be there. I don't know. It's all over the place, with detectives. And then there's some Hispanic gangsters, this white gangster dude. And then they're trying to get people don't realize that Kyle Mooney was in this movie, okay? No one really noticed it, but I did. And I'm going to give you the straight up fact because I was raised religious. Lubavitch Chabad, the people that have the black hats, the curls, the pay, the white shirt, the black jackets and the pants and the shoes, they're not getting into organized crime with murdering people, drugs, stealing from people. They're not going to do that. Yeah, it's a great cover because you think they're so religious and pious. But those are not the Jews that would get into gangster stuff. If you're thinking about Jews that get into like gangster mafia stuff, maybe in the early 1900s, it would be secular Jews. Jews that just don't give a crap about religion whatsoever, but they're Jewish. So it's always these stupid representations that they don't understand that, it's a good cover that they look Lubavitch Chabad, but they're not. It's just stupid. Like, I just don't understand it. So that's, again, not believable in that. So, yeah, the movie was confusing all over the place. Not that great. And then I watched Seventh Day, where, no offense, spoiler alert, it's another Exorcist movie that takes place in the 90s, and supposedly the young dude is now Guy Pearce. And it's confusing if he's really out there to avenge that kid who died, or the guy who trained him, Keith David. Supposedly Stephen Lang tells you he's like the best at what he's doing because the church stopped doing that sort of thing, and he's been training a lot of people, and that he's paired with this young guy, but then he's, really, was he possessed or is he really evil? It was so confusing. I fell asleep through it, and I watched it a second time, and I was still confused of what Guy Pearce's character really was and what he was doing the whole movie. And it was Stephen Lang was clean cut. That was interesting to see him. But again, Stephen Lang and Keith David, if they're in any movie, it's going to be a way better movie. Again, a little confusing the Guy Pearce thing and all this other stuff, but it was okay. It's really hard to pick the best movie, but I'm going to tell you, it probably was Broken Diamonds because it was more, gelled together as a general movie more than anything else. Because usually there's always some movie that sticks out, but like all these movies were not that great. I wouldn't suggest to watch any of them unless you're huge Guy Pearce fans or John Boyega fans. So it has to be Broken Diamonds with Ben Platt. That was probably the best movie I watched. Thanks again for listening to another show, Movie Reviews Observation number 172. For On the Radar Tape Block, I'm Radar. See you guys next time.